A new dating app that you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need. You've heard of dating apps, correct?
I have. I'm never got the opportunity to use them, but
we've talked about this at length before. I think both a tragedy and a gift in a lot of ways.
No kidding.
Yeah, never got to use the dating apps. Probably a good thing in the long run.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this type of dating app? In Iceland, first of all, there is a couple questions that you have to ask before quote unquote hooking up with a person in the country of Iceland. Those three questions are: do you have protection? Do you have any sexually transmitted diseases? And lastly, but most importantly, are you my cousin? Which is hilarious, but also a very important question to ask.
It's a small country. I would imagine there's a decent amount of cousins.
You do want to know that before initiating relations with an individual.
All right. Now, well, this begs the obvious question. If the answer is yes, is there anything preventing the dating from continuing?
If the answer is yes, you got to make sure the first two questions are locked down solid. That might be the worst thing I've ever said on a podcast. Let me see. So that's a problem there, right? Now, how do you fix that solution? Well, in an island of just 300,000 people, sleeping with a distant relative may be inevitable. Sleeping with close relatives, however, remains one of the things that people would most like to avoid. And now, finally, there's an app for that. The News of Iceland reports that a team of software engineers have scraped a publicly accessible genealogy website known as Some Icelandic Word, the Book of Icelanders, to produce the Android app called Some Icelandic Word.
Cousin Buster.
Along with a range of controversial search functions, the app allows a feature that can bump individuals' phones to let users know how closely they are related. Like, hey, hold on, let's get out our phones here and see if this is a problem.
It's like cousin roulette.
So here's the question, right? I'm not familiar with this world entirely, but I would imagine, say you come home from some Icelandic bar with a nice young female, and you're very excited. You bump phones, and oh no, they're my cousin.
Right.
What do you do with that situation? It's 2 a.m. Neither one of you are probably able to drive a vehicle. Do you just...
Like you said, I think this really depends on your answer.
The first couple of questions, yeah, that's problematic. Geez, that was.
I think it's interesting. So if there's 300,000 people in Iceland, and they said, like, I would have assumed this was like one guy who made this, but no, a team of engineers put this together, which means a decent chunk of the.
Well, it's a big.
Like, how much is a team? Is it 2? Is it 10? Like, it's a decent. It's a large percentage when you consider how serious this is. Of the Icelandic workforce committed to this issue.
Yes, but put yourself in their shoes. Would you, if you're an Icelander, if you're Icelandicer, what's the term for Iceland? If you're a person that lives in Iceland and you're concerned about this, I would pay top dollar for an app that ensures that I don't doink my cousin. If that's the kind of lifestyle that I'm looking to live.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Behind every sign, there's an idiot that makes it necessary.
Yeah. So the app, this is rather old, but the app has drawn 4.5 out of 5 stars in the Google Play Store thus far. I don't know what it's called, but it should be called Cousin Bump. Oh, this is funny. There's a quote on their website that says, "If I had this app last year, I probably wouldn't have gone home with my cousin." which is exactly what this app is seeking to avoid.
Wait, that's on the actual site?
It's on their website, or at least formerly, because again, this is a couple years old. I don't know how.
That's like the actual slogan. I would have thought that was like a joke review or something, but no, that's the actual slogan.
Would you utilize this app early on in the evening? And how would you bring that up? Because this is actually I'm very curious about this strategy.
Yeah.
Because you can't if you use it too early on, right? If you meet somebody and you're having a great time, you're like, hey, we should do this app. What you're doing is effectively signaling, hey, this is where I'd like this evening to go. And that can crush the evening, I would imagine. But if you do it too late, like in the previous example, now you're sitting there.
You run the risk of not caring.
Yeah. This is fascinating. I wonder if this app can like somehow be reconfigured and reutilized to show people who is where in the. That seems like as I'm saying it out loud, that seems like a pretty big privacy concern. Like you go into a bar or somewhere and it says, "Hey, you have 4 cousins, and here they are. Don't go talk to them." I don't know. It seems it's presumptuous to go at the beginning, but at the same time, you don't want to go too late. Probably right before you leave.
Place.
Yeah. The only thing other than that I know about Iceland is from what I've learned in D2 The Mighty Ducks. So
I was gonna say in Eurovision.
Yeah. Another
one of the great movies of all time. If you haven't seen Eurovision, go watch it.
I call it a film. That's how great I am.
Yeah.
It's a film.
My wife and I jokingly say, "I'm checking you out on a weekly basis."
Ya Ya Ding Dong is one of my favorite songs. If you don't know Ya Ya Ding Dong, I am the guy in the movie who screams Ya Ya Ding Dong when somebody isn't playing Ya Ya Ding Dong. If you haven't seen this is horribly out of context and references.
Yeah, but
you have no idea.
If you do.
Yeah.